Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Anthony, also known as the Cool Guy. Yes. I am here today back in ZBrush. I am actually going to just do something a little bit different today because I needed to take a break from all the NPC work that I was doing for my other project. Jumping from one project to another. So why not? Anyways, you know the deal. I can honestly tell you. Be sure to have your own music ready because I still have not figured out how to actually play live music for you yet. But when I do, it'll probably only be things that cannot be copyright infringed because copyright infringed gets me in trouble, and then my band and my freaking page gets kicked off, and then I'm never seen in the algorithm again, and then it just goes down to a spiral of just depression, depression, and more depression. Why not? Anyways, take a sip of my drink. Uh, I am going to go ahead and open up a creature today. I've actually been working on from another project. I got like 4 projects, and yeah, they will get done. It's just a matter of just when, and no, it's not going to take me over 10 to 15 years. The story that I did, I written it out when I was in college, so I guess technically it was like 10 years, and then I had to learn all the skills and stuff to build it up. So at that point, I guess it did take over 10 years. Shit. I mean, like, there was many iterations of the story, but it's just not quite like mine. So we still haven't nailed the hammer on the head. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep on going till it actually starts to stick. Anyways, for anybody that is joining live, I will let you know it is best that you have your own music because normally I get very quiet and I start to get all meticulous with all the stuff that I do when it comes to doing this kind of stuff. So I will let you know that right away. Let's see here. I'm gonna go here past the Pixel Logic. And we're gonna go to PC. Here we go. Alrighty. I'm gonna get into this one. Because you know what? I've been wanting to draw in color for a minute now, and I think it's about time that I started doing a whole lot more of that. Oh, by the way, I do have a lot of stuff that I do need to draw. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take this one out first. We're going to go ahead and start there. We're going to start there. We're going to start there. Let's start by taking her out. Just draw in so that way you don't see that weird looking pink block on the side. And there we go. I drew this bad Betty back in 2018. Still got all the details and stuff that I want on her too, so I'm not gonna change it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Especially if you want to actually have something look real scary. So this time I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna simply take her out, but I'm gonna take her out in a higher polygon because the last one was just extremely low poly, and it did use a normal map to drive it. So but first, before I do, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll just add some details here. Why not? I'm just gonna go ahead and we'll start off by getting the damn standard brush, because that is the brush that cuts into stuff and cuts into meshes. Let's see here. I know there's the horns, but let's go ahead and do this first. Take care of this first. You won't be here. You won't be here. Let's see. So what I like about the damn standard brush is that it does help out with making a lot of metallic forms, and it will give you some good crisp clean edges. Hold shift to pull up double windows, because shift and double windows will actually save your life, and then you don't have to go through all those freaking hoops just to get all the stuff that you need. The higher your resolution on your maps, the more I can honestly should say the more details you can put in there. And then when your maps are in there, like when you go to generate the map, it's gonna look extremely high poly. So that's one magician trick that a lot of people don't know about. It's an old trick, but it's still a good old trick. Something I learned when I was in school, you know? So go ahead, we'll just add that detail right there because my computer could take all these polygons now. Did you know that there was this video that was out from level 80 that I was checking out the other day? Thought it was like extremely awesome. That Unreal Engine could take up to 200 trillion freaking 200 trillion. Think about that number. That is a lot. That's more than our debt, I think. I don't know. It probably mightn't be, it might not. Who knows? But 200 trillion. That is a lot of freaking polygons to make super realistic details and all that stuff. I mean, like most art doesn't even exceed that. 200 trillion. That is a lot. And when I mean a lot, I mean a lot. And it was all done on a 4090 of all things. Okay? So imagine that you get a 50 what is it, the 50 series, and you run that bad boy on there. Yeah, you ain't gonna have no issues. Shit, I got a 4070 and it's a 12 gigabyte and I have absolutely no issues with it whatsoever. So, you know, I can honestly say, like, it's crazy how far, you know, graphics cards have gotten in the industry within the short amount of time, you know? So, yeah. Well, anyways, what I'm doing right here, I'm cutting into the arm. I'm going to go ahead and add some more detail in there. So in that way, it makes it look like she has those real creepy metallic arms. And it's like, it was like etched and sketched in there, you know? You want to take your sweet time with it too. You don't want to cut the wrong way and then the things don't meet up correctly and then you're like, damn it, ah, fuck. And, you know, you start crashing your computer and, you know, you go all crazy and nuts because you didn't get the right, you know, cut-ins right. So here we go through, because I mean she's almost just about done. Let me see. Oh yeah, yep, we got all the poly, yep, all the poly, just the poly things is taken care of. So I did go through and do that. So I know for a fact that this next one that's coming out of ZBrush, she is going to look ultra realistic and creepy. And I could commemorate those guys that are on that one team ill with their creatures and stuff, even though they're all like humanoid based and they're controlled by a parasite like the things from Slither. I can commemorate their freaking originality with a lot of their creature design and all the stuff that they actually did do to make those creatures do what they do. Like, that is some serious heavy animation work right there, to be able to have the creature just have all that blood and guts on there, and just you're just seeing just the freaking the thing just all deformed like the things off of the Thing. Like, you could tell they were heavily inspired by the Thing, most definitely, because of the way the creatures are. So I can commemorate that team from ill. I forgot the name of their studio again, but I think it's Team Clout. Yeah, that's their name. They now officially named themselves Team Clout. The guy's name was Chepover. I know it was like some weird European. It's either European or a Russian name, but I could tell you that dude has some serious mean art skills, especially when it comes to doing dismemberment and stuff. So I would definitely check them out. I remember when he was doing all that art, I was like, wow, that's simply amazing. And everybody thought that this dude was a fraud and all this stuff because, you know, they were thinking, oh, that's not done in Game Engine. You know, it's just saying, where the hell is our game at? And then when it showed up to that PlayStation Presents or whatever, the PlayStation Presents show, then I think everybody shut up at that point. And they're like, wow, this is going to be running on a console. That's just crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. So, yeah. And, you know, that's just how it be. So, if you ever wonder why a lot of art takes forever to, you know, get produced and stuff, is because a lot of those producers will go through, right, and tell their artists to redo all the artwork again because it did not fit their vision. And it's like, so if it didn't fit their vision, then why didn't you do it yourself? you know? Sometimes doing it yourself will always be the guarantee, and in that way you can make the millions yourself. But to me, they get to be lazy, and we have to sit there and suffer at their whims. You know what I'm just saying? Of what's right and what's wrong, even though we're the ones making all their artwork, and they give you art and be like, deal with it and figure it out. I think it's pretty unfair, in my opinion. So now that we got this done, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the creepy things around her fingers too. Well, we're gonna make them like we're gonna cut into her fingers right here as well. Make sure it looks like really metallic. Like, and that's why I like the damn standard brush. The damn standard brush will sit there and make some stuff look like it is made out of straight metal because of the way that you can cut and pattern your lines and stuff. Like, I think that's pretty awesome. Hope you agree when you're watching this, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I can honestly say that. Like, it is really, really awesome to see how, like, you just cut into all this stuff and then it's just like boom, boom, bam. And what's so crazy is that we're already 10 minutes in and we already got a lot done. So, yeah, here it is. Boom. Gotta get those details in. Bam. So, you know, when it comes to the art industry and all that stuff, I can honestly straight say, it's kind of a little bit screwed, but at the same time, it's not, because the fact is that if you let AI just do all your work, how's anybody gonna take you serious? You know, like nobody's gonna really take you serious, like at all. They're gonna just sit there and just be all like, "Wow, you generated that with the artwork? Wow, that's so cool." I've had a lot. I went to art school, and and I had a lot of I had a lot of people just give up on me, like, give up on art because they sat there and just they decided it was too much time for them to do a whole lot of this stuff. So that's the crazy part. It takes too much time, they tell you. But when it does, though, I mean, it's time well spent because you're making it. You're making it. You know, and that's the beautiful thing about it, is that you're actually making it. Nobody else is telling you how to do it. And you're not gonna sit there and just you can't blame everybody else if you don't do it yourself. So I'm a do it yourself kind of guy, and I'm like, I'm gonna make sure that they understand that I'm gonna get this done. You know, I'm gonna get all these projects done. I know I sound crazy doing it, but it is what it is. You know, so yeah, there's that. You know, and just the shape of the industry, how Microsoft did all those layoffs to all those teams of groups of people. That was absolutely nuts. I've been watching, like, Spawn Wave, and been watching Player Essence, and Josie Woe, and all the newscasters that talk about this kind of stuff. And it's so crazy how they know, but then they don't know. Like they're like they own it, and then, like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if they ever go through and watch full on art channels that do this kind of stuff. So I know there's a lot of people out there that probably do this kind of stuff, but I don't think it's too much, because I've seen the market and I see why a lot of people don't do this kind of stuff, because you hardly get views for it. And that's all right though, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna still be here doing this, and then when you guys actually see the end result, you're gonna be like, "Wow, how did you get all that done?" Listen here, sir. If you were to watch my freaking lives when I was when I was actually doing it, then maybe you would have gotten a clue on how I got it done. But most people don't do that because they get bored with it and they're like, oh my God, this is painful. Uh, why am I here? Oh my God, why is he doing this? Doesn't he know that there's this AI art everywhere? Like, duh. Like, AI is the way to go. Like, this is gonna take too much time and too much money. I'm not gonna invest in this guy. Ugh. His skills are just, ugh. And then you worry about those kind of people that come at you too. They hurl the insults and all that stuff too as well. And it's so crazy how streamers really have to take insults like a grain of salt. Me, I couldn't do it because I don't know. You come at me some kind of way. I'm trying to make sure that you understand that you've done fucked up. You done messed up. You know what I'm saying? Talking trash to me, and I'm like, hey, I'm the one doing this stuff. You see me doing it. You know what I'm saying? So don't sit there and try to talk down on a lot of the stuff that I do. Unless you can do it yourself, then you go all ins and then you do it. But a lot of people they just go through and just they'll ignore, and then when they see you get done with the full end result and all that stuff, and it actually does look good, and then they want to be all like, oh, where can I go? What can I do to do this? What can I do to do that? Can I help you? When you're all done all at the last minute, how can you help somebody after they're done with everything that need to be done with? Like, I don't know. I guess you gotta kind of make that one make sense to me. But yeah, like I should said, I was trained by a lot of good teachers back in the day, especially back from uh, 2012 to 2015 when I started getting into 3D art and all that stuff. I had this teacher named Mike Williams. Boy, did his beard seem to always grow when he made you cry. Because that dude right there, ex-military dude, ex-Navy, but he made sure that you understood the ins and outs of all the programs that you were going to get yourself into. That dude was like 3D extraordinaire. So, even though he was a jerk, he still got the job done. And he made sure that you were gonna get your money's worth out of it. And if you didn't, well, you screwed yourself. That was just the bottom line. So right now I'm going through and I'm adding like these weird rock like cuts to her fingers. So that way it makes it feel like she's got like these stone like hands. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I could go through and just add the little wiring right there, like so. But this right here would take a lot of time to do. You know what I'm saying? So I'll just leave that there for now, and it'll probably be something for another day. But I typically don't really take too long on stuff like this, so I was happy when I got to this level of art back in 2016 when I worked on this thing. When I worked on a little mini side project called Venom at the time. Basically, there was this group named Gambit One Studios that just basically came through, and they needed like some quick art to put together, and I should say, hey, I could do it, you know. And that's the one thing about volunteering is never volunteer yourself to do something free if you know you're really good at it. But it was for a pitch, and for Netflix of all things. And I straight said, he was already working at Sony. He could have just pitched it to Sony, and he could have got himself a whole buku ton of money. But bad things went from worse. He was trying to be, conniving and all that stuff. I'm not gonna name any names, but he tried to do the most, and the creature I made, was practically like dang near free. Yeah, it was free. I'm not gonna lie, but you know, he went through, tried to cut everybody off, and basically tried to just do, the whole cutthroat thing, and that did not get him far at all. It was all bad. It was all bad. Alrighty, so we're almost done right here, and now we're gonna go ahead and just cut in this. So tomorrow I'll probably get back into doing NPCs and all that stuff, and I'll go ahead and do a full stream of that as well. You know, and hopefully you enjoy what I do, because I mean I enjoy it. I can sit here and talk about it for hours, all the crazy stuff that I've actually really went through. But there's some things I will say, and then there's some things I'm just gonna stay completely quiet about. Because at the end of the day, we all have our secrets. I think. I think I'm a special case. I don't think I have secrets. I'll just tell you what you want. I'll just tell you what you want to know, and then just go from there. And probably give you a little bit of advice on some of the stuff of how I normally tackle a whole lot of things. Alrighty, there we go. We got the next finger done. Bada bing, bada boom. So we're gonna go ahead and take this down to 4. Like so. And boom. We're gonna just move this up real quick. Bam. Boom. Bop. Bam. Just like how Kendrick was say. The type of shit I'm on you wouldn't understand. There we go. And there we go. Boom. Yeah, how's that for you? 20 minutes of talking. Woo. Man, that's a chore. I don't see how a lot of streamers could sit there and talk about a whole lot of stuff, man. Like they be going hard, bro. They be going hard. I'd be like, damn. Yeah, you guys are going too hard. Y'all could do all this talking. I say a couple little things here and there, and it's just, you know, I'm already almost feeling like I'm out of breath. There we go. Come on, let's get you back to the 7. There we go. And then we're gonna just create another little circle in here like that. Oh, I've been meaning to want to get the details back in this hand for a minute anyway, because it seems like some of the details were lost somehow, some way, but I'm getting them back today. Let's see here. Boom. Oh, got the nice big old hands. Nice little orb thing right here to where shows she can just shoot out some psionic energy or whatnot. I mean, like, what I could do, I could put some bright colors in between here to, you know, indicate that these arms are made of metal. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright. And right now I got symmetry on, so what I do to one side, it will affect the other. Alright, and there it is. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. The type of shit I'm on you wouldn't understand. Anyways, we're gonna cut in here. We're gonna work on these feet. These monstrous, destructive looking feet. Damn, those some buff ass dogs. Okay, anyways. Super duper buff. Super buff. Super duper buff. Damn, them toes is ugly. God damn. Here we go. I'm gonna work on those toes right there. Cut in right there. Boom, boom. I'm gonna go ahead and gonna add that the metal, that those lines right there, so that way they can indicate that they're like kind of like these weird metal toes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. There we go. There it is. Oh, if you happen to be creeping around in my, you know, in my lives, you know what you're saying, please say hi. It's okay. I'm a lonely guy. You ain't gotta be scared of me. I'm on the other side of the screen. I'm on the other side of the screen. Don't be scared. I know I talk a lot, but you know, it's for the betterment, so that way you're not bored. When you're just sitting here just watching me just draw, and you're like, oh, what the hell is he? I see he's drawing, but what the hell is he drawing? You know? I do like questions. I like answering them. You know? This is the kind of thing where you could just sit back and answer some questions and, you know, go from there. And why am I doing this design? And why am I making these metal claws? You know? Yeah. Because sometimes it's just something that you gotta do. You know? Oh, there it is. Got 2 people coming to the stream so far and then taking off. I appreciate those 2 folks that showed up today. That's actually some progress because normally within the first hour I'm like, and then I am here drawing today. you know? So, that's what I'm doing. But as you can see, oh, wait, I don't think the symmetry's on. Oh shit! Okay, now it's on. I'll do it for the other 2 toes, but now I gotta go through and I gotta do it for the other one. Could have swore I thought I had on symmetry, but I guess I did not. Yikes! Alright, no worries. No worries, no worries. I'll just have to work on the other side, that's all. So I'll just go ahead and just start with doing this other arm, because I was an idiot from not making sure I had on symmetry. Yay! No worries. We're gonna be all good, because it's just like doing the whole rinse and repeat. And plus, it'll make the character look a little more interesting. So why not? Why not just go through and just do the cuts on the other side? We're gonna cut it on the other side. Yeah. We're gonna cut it on the other side. Yeah. So yeah, the industry is filled with robust and very unique different artists, which I still appreciate that we still even have that going on here nowadays. And I know for a fact that everybody's like, there's gonna be no jobs in the industry. Well, sometimes you gotta be the person that just makes the jobs. You gotta be the guy that's like, stick with me, and you'll never go hungry again. Okay, I got that from Lion King. Don't follow that. But my advice to a lot of those that's worked in the industry, if you've seen pipelines, then all you gotta do is just start making your own stories. Just go through and make your own stories, and then just once you get your fully written plan out, you take probably I'm gonna put you up on game. Take 5. I would say 5-6 days, come up with something, you know what I'm saying, before you actually start executing the art. Make sure that you have a full solid plan, and make sure that you're super duper ready, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be just super immaculate ready. I think that would probably be the smartest thing if you are creative and you're tired of Xbox and PlayStation giving you bad crappy deals and stuff. You should really seriously take the time to go through and just start writing out your stuff, and then take it in AI and try to get it rinsed out. That's what I did with some of my stories, but I have to still edit some of my stories though anyway. I just needed AI to help me out with just give me some initial quick thoughts on writing the story. I mean, I've written out the thoughts already. It's just how could I have it formatted quickly? So, AI, it tries to boast about straight saying it knows how to do all these things, some of it, but not all the time. It has to take from another AI software that tells that AI software, like, hey, if you need help with helping this person on how to write this thing, this is what you got to do. And then it does it. You know what I'm saying? And, you pretty much go from there. So, definitely write out your stories, have them, set and ready, you know, write them out in quick points, you know what I'm saying? Because when you're making these stories, you know what I'm saying, you want to make sure that it's kind of relatable to a lot of people. At the same time, if you're doing full-on fantasy, just make sure that, it's full-on fantasy. It doesn't have to be relatable to anybody. Just make sure that it's compelling enough for people to actually want to stay around. Because, a lot of folks don't seem to understand when it comes to storytelling is that that's also art as well. You know what I'm saying? When you could tell a story and make somebody believe your story, seriously sit there and believe it, and it's just make believe, man, you're winning right there. That there is some superpowers, I can tell you that. You know what I'm saying? I can honestly say, with the whole fact of this one right here, this creature, is come back for revenge because of how she was defeated last time by the space bounty hunter Samus Aran. So basically, now she takes on a new form to try to defeat her adversary, and instead of just being a brain in a tank, she is now able and capable of actually moving and not staying stuck. Which is why, I was just saying, with this one, she wages war against the Federation, which is something that no other creature or anything even had the goals or the cojones to even do. Mother Brain is the only intellectual being that would actually do something so crazy and so heinous to do that. Basically, she's the thing that just causes the calamity of the galaxy. A galaxy-wide war. You know what I'm saying? And as you say, a villain with her capabilities, her intellect, and her power. You know what I'm saying? To find different no beings. Oh, that is just a scary thing, a scary thought just thinking about it. Has psionic freaking phazon powers. She's a phazonite, technically speaking, because she draws her power from phazon. You know, especially with her psi beams and stuff. Like, it's intense. Mother Brain was a one of a kind villain to me because she was just a freaking she was just I mean, back in the day, of course, she was just a creature that just moved back and forth and shot, but it was the lore behind her that made her so creepy. You know what I'm saying? Because I read the comic books of the Samus Aran campaigns and all that stuff, and let me tell you, man, some of the stuff that she did not care about Samus Aran at all. She really wanted to make sure that her humankind, like the people that were on her base and stuff, was like extinguished, which makes for great compelling stories that you could tell outside the bounds of what Metroid Prime 4 and other ones are gonna tell. You know what I'm saying? Because the fact is that this bad guy right here, she's so unique. You know, it's crazy. Like, nobody ever really capitalized on a creature like her. Well, except me. I did. And that's why I made her now. You know what I'm just saying? Thanks for stopping on by, other person. Hey, that's 3 views so far. Let's freaking go. I take those. We got 3 views so far. We got 3 views. We're at 215 freaking subs right now. You know what I'm sure saying? I hope that, the next person that comes by, they stop by and actually talk and say something. But, if they don't, it's cool. But I would prefer that you guys come through. Give me a sub. Because I'm probably going to be starting to stream every day. I want you guys to know this. I'll be streaming every day. Oh, God, every day. It's going to be painful how I do it, too. But yeah, I used to go out and lift rides and stuff and show people how I did all this art. And, what's so crazy is that a lot of folks be all like, man, that is freaking amazing. And on top of that, now I'm making it look even more amazing. So I know for a fact that people are definitely going to like this once when I go through and take this character out. I just needed to add a little more details to her hands and all that stuff. What you're saying, like this arm isn't as rockly as the other one. This one feels more of like machine brought put together. I could add some of those rock-like details, and I think that's what I'm gonna do too. So that way, I can keep the design on the other side simple. But pirates they had to work. They had to work with what they got. You know what I'm saying? So boom, there it is. Let's add that little bit of detail right there. Bada bing, bada boom. Wow, I can't believe it's already been 30 minutes. I've been talking for 30 minutes straight. 30 minutes. That is so cool. There it is. So, executives and all that stuff, they'll just sit there and, they'll go by, they'll watch like vultures and stuff, in the industry, and they'll just be all like, is this gonna make me money? That is their number one priority. I need to make sure that my stockholders are happy. If this art doesn't sell, then I'm sorry, bud, we're gonna have to cut this program. And, you know, that's how a lot of those guys actually think too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, creationism is just it's so hard to come by nowadays, especially when you actually see it in motion and all that stuff. Sure, there's videos and stuff of people actually going out there and just being like, yeah, just do this, and do this. And then they're done, like, done. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm like, get your butt in there, you get that ZBrush program, you get in there, you start drawing, or you use Blender. You could do the same thing because they got a lot of the same similar tools also in Blender as well. You know what I'm saying? And you can go through and cut and start making all the different stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all about the amount of detail you put in, and just make sure that you don't take too much time. Especially if you're already a seasoned warrior. If you're a seasoned warrior in art, then you should already know. You know what I'm saying? But don't sit there and try to be all like, I need to get in here. I need to get the boards and the wind. Yeah, no, don't do that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's just gonna cause you misery, and then it'll make you sad. And then you're like wondering, damn, where did all that time go? There it is. And yeah, so I'll just leave that there, and then I'll just work off of this. Boom. Give me that cut right there. Getting that rock, that metalish looking rock meat. You know? And there it is. That's how you get that done. I need to make sure that this creature is looking like she's like full of nightmare fuel. You know? Let's see. It's gonna make some good. It's gonna make for some really good deformations. Definitely. Especially for a good normal map too. So when you do all these cuts and stuff, you see how it goes back to like this. This is how it would look with the first level, and then it'll go to the high level to let you know, like, hey, this is how it's gonna look. And that's what I appreciate about ZBrush and all those kind of programs, is that it will let you know in low poly how this would look. You know what I'm saying? Before you actually take it out. So there's a little bit of advice right there for you, right there, like boom bop, boom bop, boom bop, bam. The type of shit on you wouldn't understand. There we go. And we do those nice looking cuts. Get those cuts in there. Gotta get those cuts. I'm telling you, those cuts, man, they're gonna just be so good, man. They're gonna be fresh, and then you're not gonna really see them that much, but you know, screw it. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact of when you go to rig it, you know it's there. It's gonna look good. Alrighty, cool. So we got done with that one. We're gonna go ahead and go to the other foot. So as you can see, I started with this other foot right here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to replicate it, but I'm not gonna get like 100% full quarter. So we're gonna go ahead, go over here. Oh, what the? Oh, now it wants to do it? Uh-oh. That means I gotta check the hand. Yikes. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Well, if anything, just save another version on top of it, and then you just go back to it again the next day or something if you don't like it. But for right now, I think it's good how she is. So I'm just going to keep on continuing on. I'm going to go ahead and press X though, because X causes problems. Especially when you start off with no symmetry and then there's symmetry now. So, but we'll get to that in a sec. So I'm going to work on her last toe like I did the other side. Get those nice cuts. By the way, please be sure to like and subscribe for the other content as well. I am making also another game. It's called Future Star. Basically, I showed the process of how I actually made the city and how I basically had a whole bunch of buildings and all that stuff too as well. You know what I'm just saying? So if you don't mind, I do have videos on there. I know they're a couple of months old, but I would like for you guys to definitely check those out. You know what I'm saying? So that way you know I'm actually legit. I'm not just sitting here just BSing y'all on this whole situation. I'm not BSing you. You know what I'm saying? I don't play. I don't beat around the bush. I'm not gonna sit there and lie to you. I'm not gonna sit there and straight say, "Oh, I didn't know how to do this stuff." No, I'm letting you know I know how to do this stuff. I got a bachelor's degree in this. I just got a bachelor's degree of science from the Art Institute of California Inland Empire. Still proud of it up to this day. Everybody else may see their freaking art things as dookie shit. But for me, I don't see it as dookie shit. I actually see it as, man, that was a whole lot of art I had to accomplish, and I'm glad I got it done because I love to draw. I don't care what anybody straight said. I love to draw. Drawing is a great pastime, and it's actually a stress reliever sometimes. Not even sometimes. It's a reliever a lot. But at the same time, though, I am making something top secret, so this is something that is kind of top secret that I am showing y'all. You know, but let's see. I'll just go ahead and I'll just keep my mouth shut about that one. But you know, just letting you know, like, oh, oops, before I start, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Oopsie, 3D. Whoopsie, 3D. Don't sue me, Ed Boon. I'm sorry. I grew up on your stuff. I grew up on your stuff. Anyways, let's see here. Go over here, do these cuts, be like boom. And now this time, there's symmetry involved. Symmetry. Yeah. There we go. Cut in here. We'll cut in there. Ugh. Look at those cuts. Gotta love the damn standard brush. This thing right here is the business. Back in the day, in the earlier forms of ZBrush when I was at school, they didn't really have so many of these kind of brushes. You actually had to seriously hand make and handcraft these brushes in order for it to do your bidding, and then actually program the brushes, you know, especially during art school. And you know what I'm saying, now seeing it now, and it's just like they're just already set and ready. I'm like, man, thank goodness somebody came up with this brush and programmed it into the other, you know, the other versions of ZBrush, and just it just went from there. Like they should have said, I'm OD, bro. We're gonna make sure that you have all the stuff that you need to get all the cuts and stuff you need up in there. And I'm like, yes. Thanks for being open. Thanks for being overpowered, man. You're freaking overpowered. So, good thing about this is that it auto saves for you, so it lets you know, like, hey, I got your back. That is a good feature to have, especially every 20 minutes, because you can sit there and get lost in doing all this sculpting and stuff, and cutting in and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden the program will just be all like, it's Crash Keys time. It's Crash Keys time. You ready for the Crashies? And you're like, wait, what? And then all of a sudden, all that work you did is gone. And then you're like, no. But then luckily, because Maya, she doesn't do that. She just says, oh, I'm going to crash on you and you're going to lose your stuff forever. So all that hard work you did, yeah, during that whole transition and stuff, yeah, kiss it goodbye. And you're like, wait, what? And she just makes it go bye-bye. And then all that hard work you did, you're just want to cry deep down inside, like, you freaking dirty woman. Because that's how Maya will treat you sometimes, especially if you don't play with her right. She'll just sit there and just be like, oh, you want this, all right? Well, that's not gonna happen for you. So you know, I'm gonna crash now, and that's that. You know. So it's like, ugh, yikes! Can't believe this happened. Why did this have to happen to me? So that is pretty much how Maya will work against you. especially if you especially if you have the actual, well, actually legal and illegal. Well, I'm not gonna say illegal, but just having the software in general, it'll crash, and that's just how it is, you know. So you will have to go through great suffering in order to get all the art that you need done out of here. So, like I just said, I kind of went off tangent with that one, but you know, those quick saves, man, they come through and save a brother straight up. And I'd be like, "Thank you, ZBrush." And ZBrush is like, "I got you. You're welcome. Don't you lose all that hard work, Mister. Don't you lose all that hard work, Mister." Let's see. We'll go ahead and make this brush a little bigger. There we go. Cut through. Boom. 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 But sir, how do you know if your typology is right? Well, you don't. Nah, I already like zero meshed it a bunch of times, and then afterwards I just modeled on top of it all after. That's how you know you got it right. There we go. Let me get this last little bit here. Cut in, so that way it makes it feel like the foot is separate, like so. And I am using an Intuos. I'm not using an Intuos Pro, because those things, they will sort of break down on you really quick for some reason. I don't know why they do, but they do. So I normally just get the Intuos drawing pad, and then it comes standard with all the defaults that you need, and it's also great for Photoshop too as well. So if you wanted to just draw something simply in Photoshop, definitely get you that Wacom, because working with the mouse could get you carpal tunnel. And that is the most deadliest thing that can happen to an artist. Carpal tunnel. That is the number one fear of all artists. Because then we're like, it's not going to be the same. We can't draw the same. And then we're all sad, and your skills are gone, and then you turn into this super depressed, sad individual. Let's see, we got the nice cuts here, and then there we go there. Cut in. Boom. Boom. And boom. So, for the 3 folks that did come through, you know what I'm saying, I truly appreciate the fact that you guys actually came through. You know, you came through and you stayed here for a minute and you heard me talking. You straight said, "Oh, hell no!" And then, then you took off. But it's all good though. I truly appreciate you guys for actually coming through though. That actually gives me hope of knowing that there is going to be an audience out there for me to actually grasp onto. So, yeah. Here's to getting to that 500 subs. What's up, Grandma? I'm just live right now. I'm on the YouTube and all that stuff, just trying to build an audience. Huh? If you do, talk to Chris. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's super cool, Grandma. She probably might not need to go anywhere. Anyways, let's see here. So yeah, you know, this is like day 3 of me actually being live, which is actually not too bad. I actually feel kind of good doing this kind of stuff, because my lives, you know, I do talk about some interesting stuff. I'm not a boring guy, you know. Well, at least I don't think so. I try not to be, you know. I really try not to be. I try not to be. Try not to be. I'm not gonna be the guy that's gonna be all like, I'm gonna skim and scam for that quick money and, you know, run off of hate and deceit and all that stuff. Cause I don't know. I already have enough of that in my life. You know what I'm saying, for that whole ordeal. And I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. You know, because hate does take a lot of energy. It does. But I mean, like when you get constantly get screwed by people that somewhat care for you, and they lie to you all the time, then you go through this whole ordeal, and you're like, wow, I can't believe I really wasted my time with this person. So yeah, but there we go. We have fixed up this rig, or this character. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and I want to stop here, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and finish up these other lines. I'm gonna finish up these other lines. Why not? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. You know, we're gonna make magic off of this. We're gonna get this shit. We're gonna get this shit. Let's see. I am, if you haven't noticed by now, I am a little bit strange. Let's see, it's been 50 minutes and I've been talking for 50 minutes straight. That's insane. Gotta take a sip of water. Water's good for your health. Helps you to stay hydrated, and you can sit there and you can talk for hours. And you can sit there and talk for hours. Let's see here. I'm gonna cut in here. There we go. And get some cuts. Run along those lines. Yeah. So this is typically how I practically do a whole lot of my art, especially when I get out the forms and all that stuff, and I go drawing from there. Like, I really go through and I really cut through, and I really make sure I get all those forms in. You know what I'm saying? Because I know for a fact that you know you will see those details because I drew them there. Sure, there's other folks that sit there and put polygons on top of polygons, and then they cut in with the polygons, and then they use the damn standard brush with the polygons, and then they put it all together, and they're like, character, now I gotta retypo it. Yeah, not me. I used to do that kind of method a long time ago, but I don't do that. I work way different. I do not go through that kind of ordeal, because that right there is a headache and a half. Let's go ahead and cut in, and let's make that more insinuated. Yeah, just like that. Let's get some cuts here. Cuts here. Cuts there. Make it feel a little more machine-like. There we go. It's okay to go round, round, round and round, round, round. And there it is. Cut in. And you know what? We'll add a little color too. Why not? You know what I'm saying? We add that color in there, it'll add more to the story of the character. Ooh, like right here, definitely add that. We'll insinuate that. Boom. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and do this and do that. Oh no! Don't do the random cuts. Not the random cuts. Take Control Z a couple times. There you go. Done. Man, that new Kaze album is actually pretty awesome. I like Kaze. I normally don't talk about all the new mainstream rappers that are out nowadays, because I'm the weird guy that listens to the off-the-wall brand music of upcoming artists and all that stuff. And that's even including myself. Speaking of which, just to let you know, I do have a new album out. It is called THPD, The Black Honda. So if you happen to run by this stream, if you happen to see this stream done, check out Black Honda The Ride. The Black Honda Odyssey, I think that's what it's called. And it's by THPD. Make sure you put the dots all in between. And when you do that, you will be sure to find my music, because I make some off the wall music. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really, really do. And I enjoy the music I make because, it's not, like, nah, it's actually like, some actual music that I made electronic. Well, I ain't gonna say how I did it, but just know that I made it and it sounds awesome. You should definitely check it out. It'll probably fit right up your street if need be, but you should definitely check out my music. Let's see here. Do the cuts there. It's a random cut. Random cut, 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 cut. There we go. And there it is. Okay, so now we're done. Got this done. Alright. Let me go ahead and let's zoom in on some of this action right here. Let's see. Should I do a little more oomph to the brain? I think I should, because brain juice is nasty. It's gotta have that nasty look. And now we just do those little cuts side of there, you know what I'm saying? Alright, we're gonna use the clay builder brush, but we're gonna keep it soft though, so that way it can insinuate. Oh, there we go. Add some more of that grotesqueness. You know, make it kind of look like ringworm, almost in a sense. Boom, boom. Yeah, kind of adds that brain juice to it. Oh, there goes another person. They just ran off. They're like, "Oh my god, what the hell is he doing? That looks creepy guy." I know. I'm a creepy kind of guy. One creeps, that is creepy crawlies. I actually had somebody come in at 57. That's 4 views so far. Let's freaking go. Anyways, just to let you know, if you happen to be by my channel, just be sure to say hi or something. Don't get creeped out by the creature that I'm making, because yes, it is what it is. She is a creepy brain monster. Intellect. Yeah, she's got dinosaur-like features. Ooh. Anyways, let's go ahead and just add that right there. We'll just go right there. We'll add that stuff in there. Why not? Those details matter. Those details matter. I love doing sound effects whenever I do stuff like this, because it just speeds the art along, and it's like, ooh, that look nice right there. Okay, so now we're getting to the real meat and potatoes. Let's go ahead and go back to our damn standard. Damn standard. We're back on our damn standard. Okay. I made the alpha a little smaller, so that way I can go through and actually get some more precise cuts. So that way we can make this look a little more machine-like. Tonight, I want to get to know ya. Do these one at a time. Shouldn't take long. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go fade, just like that. Boom. There we go. now we're gonna insinuate like there's like some kind of nut and bolt right here. Well, not a nut and bolt, but just, you know, like they just welded this this creature's hair together. Give it that creep stat. Give it that creep status. There you go. Ooh, 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 ooh. There it is. And guess what? We have made it to 1 hour of the stream. Hip hip hooray! Let's go. Mm. Let me take another sip of that water. We are here, and we have made it to another hour of the stream. Let's freaking go. All right. So, there we go. Hopefully I'm not creeping out the kids or anything, you know what I'm saying? No, it's just a creature. It's a creature sculpt, you know. It doesn't look that realistic. I know you guys seen all the freaking other games and stuff out there, you know. It's not that realistic. Don't be intimidated. Don't do that. Don't do that. There we go. And go through, do that, and then we'll add the spacing here, like so. Oh, and I'm not gonna do that video cut where I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here, and then we'll be right back. No, we're not gonna do that. You're gonna see everything in its raw live form. Man, maybe I should have did this a long time ago. Maybe I might have had some more viewers by now. I mean, I tried, but then I just kept giving up because, you know, my counter just kept staying at 0. It was like, F you! F you! You're not supposed to know this stuff! F that! You know? And that's the stuff the executives don't want you to ever see, is stuff like this, because it'll give you some kind of hope. It give you some kind of hope. There we go. So we're gonna do this. Like so. Just even that out like so. Use this move typology brush, because if you use the regular move brush, you're gonna just run into problems, and then you're gonna be sad, and then everybody's gonna hate you, and they're gonna straight say, we're all gonna laugh at you. But yeah, the move typology brush allows you to just move the typology of the thing that you're actually trying to get. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll just work off of it. There we go. Here we go. And this is how you make a model from 2018 look a whole lot more better, because then when you go to rig it, it's gonna look nice. So sharpen these bad boys right there like so. Gotta wait. Progress. Drink some water. Yep, we are probably good to go. Alrighty. Now I gotta run my dog in the morning, because he's gonna definitely be on my tail about that. There we go. Now we're gonna use the damn standard brush. So, you know, this time what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just do one, and then I'm gonna copy them over. So that way, when I feel that we've actually got some nice stuff going on with this, you know what I'm saying, I don't have to keep doing it over and over again, and we're like, oh, the intensity, the sweat. And you'll see in a minute. You'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. And you'll be like, oh, that's so cool. If you're an artist. If you're not an artist, then this is probably going to just be just some, what the fuck is you doing kind of ordeal. There we go. Get a nice cut in like so. Cut in, cut in. Alright. Cut, 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 cut. There we go. go. Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, because it's partially gone. Oops. Forgot about that. Okay, so once we do that, we click all these. We're like, okay, so that's all cool. So I'm going to take all these ones and click those off. And then what we're going to do, go to one. Probably might have to actually end up redoing this whole thing again. We'll delete that. Oh. Alright, let's see if I have to redo it again. No, I don't. All the work stayed. Okay, good. Doesn't have to have too much detail on their resolution, so we'll just divide that. There we go. And then now what we're going to do with this, of course, with her extension of her brain, right? We'll just add the brain complexities right there, so that way it gives it that oh my god, that's disgusting kind of look. It'll look like a braid. Because braids are basically, brains are like C's, real fat CU cups that just mash together, and they just make this weird blobby mess. And then it's so crazy how our brains are like that. They're just C cups. And there we go. Gets that nasty blobby feel. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, ooh, disgusting. Give it that nice veiny look. And it's so crazy how doctors have to look at this and then be like, oh my goodness, I gotta freaking cut into this dude's neurological. Like, you are quite literally putting your life in that other human being's hands when it comes to craziness. And then they gotta look all through your brains just to find irregularities and stuff. It's fascinating and scary at the same time. There you go. There you go. So I know for a fact doctors, man, they got the world's most hardest job. And then we're gonna go through here, and we're gonna add some more to brain details there. There we go. Give that nice weird blob. Near the blob. The blob. The blob. Blobby blob blob. Circle weirdness. And there we go. Alright, cool. So now we got all this detailed out. We're going to go ahead and take it up one more subdivision. Oh, and this is where we add a little bit of detail on there. So what I normally like to do, take a spray. I'll just take one of these alphas right here. You know, go ahead and modify it, and you know, do some little extras to it. Give some streak length. Yeah, a little bit of noise on there. Oh, wait, where you going? Where you going? Add some H tile to it, so that way we have a little bit more. And then you want to use the radio fade, where now it's got these nice little fades and stuff. And you just go around those real weird looking brain juice things that you just sprayed, and then you just spray in such a fashion to where it just adds the detail on there, and then you're not going through doing like itty bitty polka dot something something polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. Yeah, you're not gonna be going through all that. Make the brush a little big, and then just add that in there. You can hold the Alt key, as you can see, as I've been doing. Hold that Alt key right there, and then you just go to town, you know what I'm saying? spray it on. That's pretty much what you're doing. And then there you are. You're done. And let's see. Go right there. And we're gonna go ahead and take this down back to one. Where you going? Where you going? Go back. Come back. Come back. Come back. There you go. Ah, boy. Don't ever do that again. Don't just up and disappear on me. Don't do that. Don't do that. And then you've hit it with the finalized details, as you can see. We've only been at this for 10 minutes too, just so you know. 10 minutes of me talking to you. Hopefully it hasn't been torturous. Hopefully it has not been torture to you. Anyways. Poking fun, just making fun just a little bit, but anyways, there we go. Cut through. Cut through. And cut. Bada bing, bada boom. And now we have updated our mesh that we made back from 2018 to now, and she is just about ready to go ahead and get basically taken out a ZBrush. And this is what we call another character done. And boom, boom, and boom. Alright. Go through and cut. Alrighty. So we are here right now in the stream. We're about an hour and 12 minutes in, and looks like we got a whole lot of details done, which is good. It's real good. There we go. And there we go. Cause why not? I don't feel like doing all that whole. Oh, if I could just do. We're not gonna do all that. We are not gonna do all that. I'm gonna take another sip of my drink, though. Man, water's good for you. So, if you wanted to see how your work would look outside of, well, in ZBrush, and you're like, oh man, this sculpt is freaking awesome, man. I wonder how it would look with all this lighting and stuff, right? You know, you can always just alter your lighting so that way it doesn't look really flat. I'll show you in a sec. I like doing this. It's pretty fun. It gives me a unique perspective of how it actually looks. Once all that hard work and detail that you did is done. I'll move you out the way. We will move you out the way. There we go. Let's cut. There are no mistakes. There it is. There are no mistakes. Alrighty. So if you happen to be new to this channel and you're wondering how 3D artwork actually does get done, especially with modeling and stuff, you just go ahead and check out the cool guy, which is AKA, that's me. This guy that's talking to you right now. Check me out, you know what I'm saying? And you leave a like or you leave a comment, and definitely subscribe if you like what you're seeing. I'm not gonna be big on game and news and stuff, but I can show you all the hard work and dedication that these other artists be going through just to get to what they hope that they can achieve to be cinematic quality. You know, and that's pretty much what a lot of folks have to really go through, especially when it comes to making big publishing games and stuff. It's like, for me, I'm like, just as long as it's got some nice looking details in there, and you know, there's a story that's conveying with these characters, or I can kind of get with this story and give it a shot. That's the kind of thing that I'm mostly into. You know, like back in the day, at first I never used to like Game of Thrones, and I used to rag on that show. I'd be like, man, don't be coming at me with that weird medieval shit again. I'm done with medieval stuff. Medieval's for wusses. And man, my teacher, man, he almost let me have it too. He was like, "What the hell? You not know what you talking about, nigga? You don't know what you talking." He didn't say nigga because he was white, but he's like, "Game of Thrones is the best thing that's ever gonna be on TV. You mark my words, and then afterwards it's probably gonna be kind of downhill." And he was kind of right about that because he had some insights into the industry. So at that time, you know he knew a lot of folks that worked at the Respawn and all that stuff, and any artist that was really good at doing that kind of stuff, he got him in. He really got him in. He was a real good dude too. He made sure if you had really good art, he was gonna get you in, no matter what. You know, for me, not everybody's path is like that though. Everybody's path is different. I don't care what anybody says, especially when you're an artist. If you know for a fact that you're not gonna make it in the industry, then you become the industry. You know what you're saying? Don't let your artwork just be slumber into the histories of time, and nobody knows about you until somebody just pulls up your file somewhere on a computer that's probably in a desolated area, and they're like, "Ooh, week on a week now," and like they speak in some weird different language besides the ones that are here on Earth. He'd be like skibbity bead, skibbity bead, skibbity bead. They'd be speaking the Popeye language or something. I'm telling you, them Fletchers back in the day, they sat there and they just did that. You know, they knew that they had something big with Popeye, especially when they kept them stories extremely simple and clean. And that's like a lot of problem with this industry nowadays. Like they don't keep things like simple. It's gotta have complications. You know. So I'd say the more simpler you keep things, the more better off you're gonna be. So all right, now we're officially done with this battle. Now we're officially done. I think I'm not gonna do any additional colors to this, so I'll just leave that be. Let's see. Oh, here. Take that spray. You know what I'm saying? Take that spray. Go through and you just add those details. Get it done. All right, there we go. And now, here we are. Oh, let me show you that lighting thing. I think this is a pretty cool, neat trick. Just add the blue light there, and then add a light right here in the front. And, you just go through and you make it a different color. You're like, oh, this is pretty cool. Take that light. If you don't like that light right there, then you go through. Add another light. Go to the front. Make it feel like, there's a studio light hitting right there. You know what I'm saying? And then you change it to whatever color you want. Change it to whatever color you want, man. There we go. And let's see. just make this one like a soft orange. So now all the lights are at the top, as you can see, and they're not in the front. If need be, you can go right here. Oh no, let's not do that. And this is how you can make some, real mood lighting, and then you can really see exactly how the character will look, especially when you go to put the lighting schemes and stuff on there. Just throw that blue right in front. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want it super blue, you can always just change it. Give it a different color. Turn that on. Let's see. I want this light to hit me from the side right there. So now you can see exactly like, like, ooh, that looks really nice. I like the way that looks. Okay, cool. We're gonna go ahead and keep that. You know what I'm saying? And there you go. You're done with that. And then you can just take this one braid, and then you can just duplicate it in another program, and then go from there. So I'll take this one out a little later on today. Go ahead and save this. Version 2. Yes. So yeah, that's pretty much art in a nutshell. What you're saying. It's all about decision making and just being confident in what you're making. You know, and you go from there. Mm. So here's a pirate that I made. I thought was pretty cool, pretty neato. It's already got the details and stuff that I want on there. You know what you're saying? Got some cuts and all that stuff, and yeah, you know. Kind of want to go with this one today, but before I do, I gotta actually get some other ones done. So I'll just worry about this one a little later. And let's see here. Don't worry about this one. I started working on this bad boy right here and never got quite around to finishing it. So I think this time I'm gonna go ahead and go through and do exactly that. I'm gonna finish this bad boy. Let's see. All right, the one problem about water is that I actually gotta use the restroom. So I'll be right back. Give me a sec. have made it back. Let's see here. Can you actually? Let me see. Can I even hear my? Hello, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello. I have made it back. Oh, can you actually? Hear my? Hello, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello. I have made it. Oh, I had to hear myself on my phone to make sure that my live worked. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. All right, so to continue on, we're gonna go ahead and I had to hear myself on my phone to make sure that my live worked. We're gonna go ahead and continue on. So we're gonna go ahead and make our form of metal Ridley. I think mine is. I'm gonna go ahead and make them just a bit more creepier. See here, like so. Let's see here. Alrighty. So we got the knuckles and everything. And the creature. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make sure we just keep it that way for now. This here is where we put in the portioning and all that stuff. So that way they don't look too much like human fingers. They actually start to look like, iguana hands or something. There we go. There it is. Boom. There we go. Add more depth to it, and then make sure those pads are looking really nice and all offs. Make sure the pads are all offset, of course. There we go. Let's see. Clear this up. Use the transparent so that way we can just add the other details on there right now. So I like to take this masking brush and go to town. hold the shift button if you want to open up a new window, so that way you're not going through and just opening up a whole bunch of different windows and all that stuff, and then you're all like, oh my god, why is this taking forever, a million years? So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna simply inflate. Go. Alrighty. Press delete hidden. Merge tries. I'm just gonna leave that right there, and then we're gonna press pause, plus hold shift, and then click. And the one, and then you're gonna see some magic. There we go. Come on. Go. Cut through. Welcome to the stream. I'm just simply putting on some blocking out. If you happen to like what you see, please be sure to like and subscribe, and definitely leave a comment if you don't. And it's all good. I'll take that criticism as well. Ooh, no. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and add some armor right here. Ooh, no. There we go. Some knuckling to the feet. And we're going to just simply press extract. And then we're going to hit accept. Alrighty. go. There's one. Enter. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and delete hidden. Line edge, merge tries. And we're gonna just leave that right there. Press C remesh. Boom. Clean typology right here. See here, do that. There we go. Pull this down just a little bit. A little too clean. So now you just double tap. And there we go. More fully cleaned up typology. Alright, we'll do this tail. Let's see. So we can always just elongate it. I'm gonna go ahead, hit it off with this mask right here. A couple masks. And there we go. Thanks for coming to the stream so far. I really appreciate you actually staying by here so far. You know, that I'm really appreciating that. Let's see. As I said, I got a couple videos on here basically outlining. I work on games and all that stuff because, like I just said, I'm going to be creating a demand instead of being the guy that complains about, you know, freaking whatchamacallit, basically complaining about, oh, there's no jobs out here. I'm like, you know what? I got these art skills, so I'm gonna make something happen, you know. So. Oh, you know, hold on. Before I start on that, there we go. Let's add to that. We'll just turn this off for now. So let's see. We'll go ahead and change our light from purple green. Change them back to whitish color. I'll turn this one off. There we go. Because basically, what I did with the lighting earlier, I got done with another creature. Well, since you're still here, I'll go ahead and show you. So I just got done redesigning this creature and basically adding all kind of details and stuff on there. So as you can see, bada bing, bada boom. Got done with this. So I'm gonna be taking her out probably later on tonight. So now I can get her into another program. And I'm gonna be doing the same thing with this guy. Well, this is probably for another time. I don't know quite sure quite yet, but I'm gonna try to get as much details done with this one as much as possible, and then I'm gonna take him out too as well. There we go. Boom. Okay, so let's see. Sometimes you gotta just noodle around and just, you know, pull out the shapes that you want, you know, and then try to get it to look as detailed as much as possible. also remember we must get rid of the innards too, because innards are, you're not gonna see it in game, so no need to keep it there. And then you're sitting there wondering, man, why is this taking so long to get rid of? Delete. Mine. Uh-oh. There we go. Whew. That was close. First things first. Save. Always save. I don't care anybody says saving saves your life, especially in this art industry. You want to save it as much as possible. Saving saves lives, especially time. Oh, oops. There we go. All right, thanks for stopping on by. I appreciate you. Have a good rest of your night. Man, I really wonder what I could do to actually make this a lot more exciting. I know music would probably be the best thing to do, but it's really hard to. I know I can always do the copyright. What is it? Not the copyright, but that one music. But come on, there we go. Got some nice looking view of this ordeal. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna extract out 3, extract. All right, cool. Yep, we'll go ahead and accept that. We accept those. We accept those. Welcome to the stream, Chris. Was that you that was watching me?
No.
Oh, that was somebody else?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Now, I made it up to a total of 5 views so far on this live so far.
Oh, awesome, man.
In 2 hours, yes, I'm keeping track because I'm that petty. Yeah, I'm keeping track because I'm that petty. Now, I wish I could play copyrighted music, but I can't though. I'm great if I was a stud. Get that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh. Hey, did you finish up the rest of the kitchen?
No, not yet.
Nigga, you need to get up in there and put that food up, man.
I don't know how I'm about to put that food up.
Put them in multiple bowls. And then clean the pot. Mm. Had chili beans tonight, and boy, did they smell bomb. They're as bomb as they smell, and they got a nice little kick to them too. Got a kick to them too. Running out of water because I've been talking so much on this stream. I realize I done effed up because this is taking forever and a million years. All right, we're like 10 minutes away and we are about to hit the 2 hour marker, which is good. I'm not sure how much longer I can actually go on here without it cutting off, but since this is Streamlabs, maybe I could go another hour. Since we made it up to 5 people actually watching this channel, I'm gonna go up for another hour just because I can. You know what I'm saying? I'm like sitting over here. I'm stoked. I'm excited. I'm happy that 5 of you guys actually came here and watched my channel. And you actually stayed for at least like 5 minutes. Each one of y'all, 5 to 10 minutes. I was actually grateful you gave me 5 to 10 minutes of your time. Like, that is so cool. I truly appreciate that very much. You know, I'm not like a super big known name artist. I'm not sure if there's any big known name artists, to be honest with you, but oh, there it goes. We accept those. All right. So now, for what I'm looking at, I can go ahead. I can start adding like weird body fat and stuff on here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead go here, go there. Let's go ahead and turn off the streaks. And turn this off as well. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn this brush down. We're going to start adding all the details around the body of the metal. So that way we can have this weird, creepy looking metal Ridley. And I mean, like the other metal Ridley was pretty creepy looking too, but I think I'm going to take this one to the next level. There we go. Let's see, we got on 5. Let's go ahead and take it up to 6. Oh, hello. Welcome to my stream. Super happy and stoked that you're here. If you happen to like what you see, please be sure to like and subscribe. And if you don't, then I don't know what I can tell you on that one, but you know, I'm really happy that you're here, so I truly appreciate that. Let's see. So right now I'm technically putting in details, like I'm adding skin to fold around the actual creature, or to fold around the metal, so that way it makes it feel like it's a part of the body. It's gonna be pretty cool. You'll see. So right now it's just going through, just adding clay buildup and all that stuff, and there we go. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's go ahead and add that body fat right there too. Make it real nice. We already got all the muscle groups and stuff that we need for it. So add that body bold. There we go. And we're gonna go. It's gonna look really nice when we go to try to act, when we go to rig it and all that stuff too as well. Having all that detail around it, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be freaking awesome, man, or woman. It's gonna be freaking awesome. There we go. Let's see here. We're just gonna go ahead and just dig in. Boom. So normally I work on, I'm working on my other game too, because I have another game in the works as well, um, called Future Star, and basically I'm working on like human NPCs for that one as well. But right now today I had to take a break because I was like, you know, I've been working on that one for like 7 months. I've actually worked on the city and got it all fully colored up and all that stuff as well. I'll probably show you if you happen to come back again. I'll definitely show you. Alrighty, we are now approaching the second hour of the stream, the drawing stream. Let's see, right now I am making a different version of Metal Ridley. And I'll show you. So right now I'm currently just adding just all the bulk muscle around the to make it feel like, so what I'm doing right now, I'm using this clay buildup brush to make it feel like as if his skin is being molded around the metal. So in that way, it gives this like kind of weird, like, you know, he was experimented on to, you know, make him a lot more stronger than what his original form was from back in the day. Uh-oh. I done lost my space. Oh, oh, it's just a knee. There we go. Okay, made it back. So one thing about traversing in these 3D programs is that you will get yourself lost really quick, but it's all right. All you got to do is sometimes just press that F key and then you're like, ah, okay, that's where I was at. And then it goes from there. And then we'll just add the little bit of detail right there. Well, let's go ahead. Let's add that clay buildup right there too as well. That way it felt like when those creatures were remaking them again, like feels like the metal and all that stuff just binded to his skin. Let's see, there we go. But that's not good. No worries. Oh, clean those up. Good as new. Good as new. No, now I'm just gonna go ahead and add that there, like so. Oh, by the way, I really appreciate you actually sticking around and watching me do this. This is actually really awesome. Thank you so much. This is like my third day actually streaming so far. It's not been too bad. I think you're number 6 so far that came by here today. You are number 6. You're number 6 viewer. go. I'm not gonna do too much detail on the hands. We'll get back to this in a minute, but we can just add the the knuckles there for now because I'm gonna have to specialize the knuckle hands. That's just there for just the foundation and lay and the. But it's always good to have those details there. I want to get the underbelly too because basically we also have the paddings underneath our hands and stuff, especially dragon creatures or dragon humanoids. So I want to definitely make sure that we incorporate that there as well. And for now, we will leave that here. Let's see. Go ahead and we'll start getting more detail around his head. So remember, gotta press that F key, and then pull back and then draw in, because then afterwards you won't go through that craziness. And you can also go right here too as well, and then hit the rotate as well. But it's gonna move around. I'm gonna go ahead and hit it right here. Give it that nice grotesque that feeling of like that skin binding to the metal. There we go. Like so. We'll even kind of overlap it a little bit too if we need to be. I think that'll make it look a little more awesome. There we go. And for now, we'll just add the muscle wrapping right here. See how we're looking on the inside? We're looking good on the inside. We're gonna cut in and make that dragon bone right there. And as you can see, we also got some some spit and some basically. So think of this as like that ignition. Like how dragons spit out fire and stuff. Like that's the ultra like that gasoline. Think of it like gasoline, and then his breath just ignites it, and there you go. It's like meth. Okay, there it is, methane gas. There you go. That comes out from right here. Put two of them right there, so that way it makes it feel like he's gonna shoot like a bunch of fireball. Because this is like what we would call design aesthetics. So basically, like you go through and you think about how how cool it would be to see that kind of detail actually work. So like if you put a rig right here, you can see like the spit come out, so you can put like a dynamic and stuff there. And it'll look pretty awesome. It'll look real awesome. And then we're gonna go ahead and make that throat game, because that's right. So with throat, that's where you can put like light and stuff in the back, so in that way when he goes to breathe in, you'll see the fire and stuff actually come out at you and all that stuff. Like, you do little details like that, you know, and it'll definitely push your character design. There you go. All right, we are 10 minutes in on the second hour, heading into the third hour. I think I might go for just 3 hours tonight. I might go for four. I'm not gonna lie to you. I probably might do four. See how we're feeling that three. Might have to go run and grab some water in a minute, cause there we go. We'll just add those veins right there, so that way it makes it feel like, you know, it's got this crazy net. He's got this crazy network of like veins that just spew out this toxic fire. And this is just all a part of the blocking out. We're gonna go ahead and add a little more detail there. There we go. And this will make great for a pretty good normal map too as well. When you do all this clay buildup and stuff, it makes great normal maps. And this is how a lot of the creature designs and stuff nowadays are still getting done to this day. If you are in the industry, you know what I'm saying. This is how a lot of this stuff does get done. And then you go through and you add like these skin details and all that stuff on there. This is a real easy way of how to do it too. Let's go ahead and add some. Oh, thank you for joining in. You have yourself a wonderful night. All right, we are 2 hours in at the top of the hour. I think we're doing pretty good so far. We made 6 views so far. This is freaking excellent. I'm actually happy about the turnout so far. Gotta add that Adam's apple right there. actually stood around for like 15, 20 minutes. That's cool. I really appreciated that. Alright, I'm gonna put on some music real quick. Ooh, oops. Alright. Hello. Welcome to my stream. I'm here right now just adding muscle groups to the creature. And thank you so much for stopping by so far. I hope you enjoy what you're seeing and we'll go from there. And if you happen to really like my channel, please be sure to like and subscribe. Uh-oh. hello. Thank you very much for tuning into my stream. Name's Anthony. I'm known as the Cool Guy, and I do a lot of art. So if you happen to like what you see, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I'll be having more lives doing actual live art. Thank you very much for coming by and viewing what I'm doing so far. So speaking of which, I'm doing muscle groups for this creature right now. So I'm adding basically just muscle fibers and stuff to the actual metal that's right here, and basically just making sure that it feels like the skin is attached to the actual character.
Well, let's say you have a viewer that comes in and out.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
You're just checking to see if it worked on your phone.
Oh no, I just want, yeah, that and just, yeah, that is true. I did want to check to see if it was working on my phone, because it'll be annoying that, like, the audio sounds all low and stuff, and you're just like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just dealing with the whole ordeal. So yeah, it works on my phone. So happy about that, and I let everybody that does come by, let them know that this is what I'm doing, coloring them up. But yeah, I think I got like freaking 8 viewers so far, bro.
Oh, 8 viewers?
Yeah, that came by. Some come by for like probably like a second. Some come by for like probably like 2 3 minutes, and they're like, "Oh, I'm over this. I'm out." You know what I'm saying?
I can't sit here and stay and watch a person draw.
I'm like, get a job, get a job. It's like, yeah, I had that, and I was harassed. You know what I'm saying? I was harassed at my job, so.
You motherfucking cats can't ever understand what the shit I do.
The type of shit I'm on you wouldn't understand. Did grandma go to sleep?
Yeah. Because these your cats and cats, and these other cats come up in here. These other cats come up in
Oh,
here.
hi, welcome to the stream. My name's Anthony. I'm the cool guy. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you happen to like what you see. And right now, what you're seeing me do, I'm just putting little muscle groups around the actual metal, so that way it makes it look like his flesh is attached to the metal. So yeah, just letting you know. Oh, there they go. They're like,
Ominous.
ah, no.
What the fuck are you trying? Right?
Mm-hmm. Pop it, twist it,
What?
but
What
ah.
are you trying? Should call it. I'm drawing pterodactyl man.
Pterodactyl man.
Yeah. That'd be funny if you just did it. I'm drawing
Pterodactyl
pterodactyl man.
man. He's Star Fox. Just kidding.
Oh shit. He's Star Fox, dude. You fucking crazy.
Remember, I'm not supposed to cuss on stream, because that is not gentlemanlike if I cuss.
Nigga, you can curse all the fuck you want to.
Yeah, but we can't say. I can't say the N word, because then I'll get in trouble. Because then the YouTube people will be all like, you are not eligible to get any freaking financing from us. Wow. No, like, I don't want that.
Thank you, viewer, for coming back. We're drawing pterodactyl man. Just say we're drawing pterodactyl man.
Oh, right now I'm actually drawing a creature called Ridley from.
No, no, it's pterodactyl man.
Okay, well, I'm drawing Pterodactyl Man. Yeah, Pterodactyl Man, there we go. And basically, I'm just putting in all the muscle groups and all that stuff. Thanks for coming by my channel, by the way. If you have,
Coming in and coming out.
and actually, yeah, and actually viewing my channel so far, truly appreciate that. Anyways, if you happen to like what you see, please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I will be doing more lives. Alright. Oh. He does have that old school creep feel to him, huh?
Yeah, he does. I don't think they believed you when they said you were making pterodactyl man.
Of course not.
Why are they always leaving? Why can't they stay?
I don't know, because they don't understand the shit I'm on. They wouldn't understand. Beam bop boom bop boom
They
bop
don't
bam.
understand your muscle groups.
The type of shit I'm on, they wouldn't understand. Not even gonna lie, this actually looks pretty freaking dope. Okay, the neighbors think I'm selling dope. Selling dope. Neighbors think. Okay, the neighbors think I'm selling dope.
Neighbors think I'm selling pterodactyls. Motherfucker, I am.
I am.
Selling pterodactyls.
Okay.
What if it's that angry short guy? You little fucking shut.
How the fuck is he doing this? What? the fuck?
Little fucking shit.
Fucker, shit. Little fucking shit. Little fucking shit. I'm like a tall ass nigga and he's just saying little fucking shit.
Alright, you taller than the guy that's calling you a little fucking shit.
Right?
Pterodactyl man.
Don't say that, man, because that's gonna make me sound unprofessional. I already gave the name away of what this is.
You keep repeating it, man. It's your stream. Do what you like.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I actually had more viewers today, like
Sweet.
from
Got
the
like
other
10.
day. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
Hey, we got 10 viewers. Let's fucking
go
go.
Anthony's contest. You know, I got it.
Oh yeah, receiving all the star powers, ain't you?
Hell yeah. You're gonna be like, that guy is so obnoxious and so rude.
Pterodactyl man.
Pterodactyl man. Ha ha, pterodactyl, pterodactyl. Ha 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 ha.
The pterodactyl man.
Yeah.
Wow, man, look like somebody comes on by just to come and check you out.
Bro, can you do me a solid?
What?
Could you give me some water and ice, please? Cause I don't want to be parched of the thirst. You know what I'm saying? Be a part of the thirst trapping. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. You're a gentleman in scholar. Ouch, bastard. Thank you, sir. Oh, we have made it to the 2.5 way mark. Yay! That is so cool. go. Boom. Like the card you deleted hidden. Let's go ahead and smooth this out right here. And pull them out. Hi there, welcome to my stream. Hello, thank you for coming to my stream. Hope you're doing good tonight. If you haven't like what you see, then please be sure to like and subscribe. My name is Ant, and I am the cool guy. hi. We are reaching the third hour here in this drawing crusade of finishing up Ridley. Or actually, Pterodactyl Man. Yes, Pterodactyl Man. Right. Anyways, yeah, we're almost done, and well, done for the night for now. I don't know. I probably might go one more hour because I'm actually feeling this hyphy right now. So, yeah. So if you have any questions or anything, please leave them in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer them. You know, like if you wanted to know anything about processes and all that stuff, like be more than happy to answer those. Oh snap! There we go. All right, we are 1 minute away from reaching the third hour on the stream. Thank you for all the folks that have came by so far to actually view what I've been doing. It means a lot. It's actually going to keep me going. I'm going to actually go ahead and keep on going for one more hour, and we'll see if anybody else would like to come around and take a peek at what I'm doing. So, thank you very much for coming by the stream. We're about to hit the top of the third hour, and we are going to enter in the fourth. Alrighty, awesome. Thanks for coming here to chill with the cool guy. Thank you for coming by my stream. My name is Anthony. I'm the cool guy. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments or in the live chat. I'll be sure to answer. All right, we're about to be hitting our 30-minute mark. I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it at 4 hours today. This has actually been a pretty good stream so far. Thank you very much for staying with me so far for the past 30 minutes. I truly appreciate that so much. Let's see. Hey, thanks for staying with me for the full 40 minutes so far. Just to let you know, I'm going to be shutting this down in about 15 minutes. So thank you so much for watching and viewing me today. And I'll probably be back either in the morning or the afternoon tomorrow. Alrighty, thank you very much for tuning in to the Cool Guy stream tonight. We just got done with two characters tonight, just about. Well, he's not really quite done, but I mean, he's still got a little ways to go. We just got to give him some color and all that stuff. And we also got done with this creature as well. So, going ahead to save. Always be sure to save your work, because if you don't save your work, you're going to be a sad customer. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got done with her too. So now we got two fully creatures that are actually ready to go. So this guy, I'm gonna work on him for next time. He'll have like he'll probably have a lot more stuff done. But for the most part, yep. Here we are. Gotta go through. We're gonna do some detailing and stuff with him tomorrow and get a lot of that stuff done. And we're gonna finish detailing out his skin. Get a lot of his, get a lot of his assets right here done as well. Put a little missile grade system on the back of here, so like just add more boxes and stuff and go from there. And let's see. And yeah, we're gonna call this guy done. Metal Ridley is gonna be ready and complete. Wish I knew what you thought about it, but it's all good. Thank you so much for actually tuning in and actually paying attention. And you have yourself a wonderful night. I hope to see you tomorrow on the next stream. If you happen to be here tomorrow, I will show you the city of what I did so far for my other project. And let's see. So thanks for tuning in to the Cool Guy channel. And this is Ant signing off. And you take care.